You can't make this stuff up. You have to be kidding me. I don't think there's anything more embarrassing than making a video that critiques LiAngelo Ball's deficiencies and saying why he probably won't make it to a full NBA roster, and then having to release a news video that is a direct contradiction to what I said, and I guess kind of proves what I said was wrong in my previous video. So I hope you guys can appreciate me taking accountability here. So before we get to the content, just a reminder, we're giving away multiple copies of NBA 2K22. All you have to do is follow me on Twitter or Instagram. I'm going to choose multiple Twitter and Instagram followers to win a copy of NBA 2K22. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro.
You get Jello up to the big show.
Go to the big show on this, man. Here's the thing. Jello got to the G League with no representation, no nothing. So now you got the representation of Rock Nation. Do your job. Get my son to the goddamn tryout or whatever camp and watch him go do his own thing. He got the name, he got the body, he got both of his legs working. He been working out. Hey, but see, if somebody else was trying to get in the league and working out with the #1 pick, that'd be a big story. But Jello been working out with Melo and Jermaine, the #1 pick, all this time. He been working out with Lonzo every day. So it's like, Jello's already in a situation. Don't think I'm gonna have 3 boys in the same household and one of them gonna be like, you know what, I ain't gonna make it. I don't feel like working out today. They cut off from the same cloth. And everything they say Melo and Zoe can do, Jello can do. Oh, you gotta get stronger. You gotta get a better jump shot. Jello shoot better than both of them, and he's bigger and stronger than both of them.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I apologize if my throat sounds a little scratchy. I think I have a sore throat. I'm not exactly sure. So in our last video, I cited multiple reasons why I think LiAngelo Ball, as fantastic as he's been in the NBA Summer League, probably won't make it to the Charlotte Hornets full roster or get a training camp invite. But oh boy, let's just get into this. I hope you guys could appreciate me holding myself accountable here. So I made a couple of mistakes in my analysis on LiAngelo Ball, and the issues are still there. The fact that he was primarily a catch and shoot guard was my basis as to why I had trouble believing that he can make it to a full roster. I felt like he was too one-dimensional of a player, but there were multiple things that I may have ignored. For one, it wasn't even the end of Summer League when I made that video, and LiAngelo Ball apparently went crazy in his last game. So what changed? How is it that one entire game completely changed my take on LiAngelo Ball in general? Well, I decided to tune in for one of LiAngelo Ball's greatest tests, going up against the #4 overall pick in Scottie Barnes, and I must admit, not only was I impressed offensively, there was a play where, for some reason, I didn't expect this. There was this one particular play where LiAngelo Ball was the pick and roll ball handler, and he was able to drive it in all the way to the basket for a lay-in. That is completely different than what we've been seeing from him primarily. But in addition to this, he also had multiple defensive plays on Scottie Barnes, which is extremely impressive considering that this is the #4 pick in the NBA draft. Before he, of course, cashed in on a couple of catch and shoot threes. Most of them were contested, might I add. And man, if you didn't watch the game, at least go and watch the highlights, because it was definitely one of the more exhilarating Summer League games that I've ever watched. You're having this man literally drain contested 3-pointers, so, well, I suppose for the most part, my basis for LiAngelo Ball potentially not making a roster was wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, he was 3 for 8 for 38% from the field. He made 2 out of 6 of his threes, with the other point being the aforementioned layup, but believe it or not, what LiAngelo Ball has shown us so far may have been enough. Now, there is a couple of comments in my last video that I 100% agree with, that the Charlotte Hornets would probably sign LiAngelo Ball just to appease LaMelo Ball, because LaMelo Ball is quite possibly the most exciting young star that the Charlotte Hornets have ever had in their entire franchise's history. I mean, if you think about it, think of every single star player that the Charlotte Hornets have ever had on their roster, and think of the amount of hype and excitement. I'm not saying in terms of talent, I'm saying in terms of excitement, in terms of the ability to put butts in those seats. They've never had a player that is quite like LaMelo Ball, which is very important to know because, well, according to multiple reports, including CBS Sports and first reported by Jordan Schultz from Twitter of the Schultz Report, there is a lot of buzz surrounding LiAngelo Ball, who's played very well during Summer League and is vying for a G League spot. He has spoken with multiple members of the Hornets organization and they love LiAngelo Ball. He's proven to a lot of doubters that he's a legit guy and a big-time worker. Now, this is where it gets fairly significant. Former Raptors head coach and current Charlotte Hornets assistant coach Jay Triano said this about LiAngelo Ball. He's a great kid. I love him. He was at the practice facility practicing every single day for 2 months just to play in the Summer League. He shows a ton of character. He can shoot it. He has a great feel and a knack for scoring. Okay, so this is fairly significant. And again, it proves me so freaking wrong from right before. Because before, I was saying that LiAngelo Ball may not have the skill set necessary to make it into the NBA as a full-time player, or hell, even as a two-way player. As a G League player that may get called up here and there, I definitely could see that, but it appears as though the Charlotte Hornets, at the very least, have taken an interest in him. Now, I don't know if this is just to appease LaMelo Ball and make sure that LaMelo Ball will stay in Charlotte for the foreseeable future, as you're starting to see some sort of arms race develop between small market teams or teams that just aren't a super large market, because I'm going to have to group the Dallas Mavericks into this group soon, and their star players. For example, the Dallas Mavericks have gone on record to say that they are concerned about their ability to build around Luka Doncic and their ability to put him in a situation where he can contend for a championship. And they're already thinking of this early on, before Luka Doncic could even leave. Luka can't leave for another 4 to 5 years, and the Mavericks are still worried about him leaving. The same could be said about Zion Williamson, who earlier on this year, there was this report that came out that Zion's family doesn't like New Orleans, feels like New Orleans has no idea what they're doing. And I guess you could assume that when Zion hits unrestricted free agency, barring something unforeseen, maybe the Pelicans put together a super team by this point and the time Zion hits unrestricted free agency, which, by the way, Zion hasn't even hit restricted free agency yet. So we're talking about 5 years from now, maybe. There is a trend of these teams looking forward to their future, not being content with the stars that they have, rather being more focused on their ability to retain the stars and do whatever it takes to make those stars happy. So at the very least, so long as LiAngelo Ball shows some sort of value, and he's been shooting the lights out in Summer League, and you got to give him props for that, then the Hornets at the very least will sign him to a two-way contract. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about LiAngelo Ball. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.